Hey guys, part 2 of our option B, dual pass, Laminova core, all sorts of things install video here. If you have not watched the first half, insert YouTube magic and go back and watch here. First half of the video, or first half of the series I should say, we removed the supercharger, removed the LSJ intake manifold, showed you how to actually remove, swap, clean the Laminova cores while you're installing your dual pass end plate. Part 2 here is gonna be me reinstalling everything. This is a good one because you can definitely tell I get frustrated, and we had a couple little mishaps in there, but you know, that's what makes us human. So hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you thought of the videos, but here is part 2. Okay, I'm ready to get our silicone hoses in, get our option B plumbed and installed, and then get the manifold back in. So now, 2 things. One, if you're doing the option B at the same time, you no longer need your fill neck over on this side. The option B is now going to become your basically overflow tank, and that's where it's going to bleed from. So you don't need this any longer. I suppose you could reuse the T if you wanted to, but it's kind of unnecessary at this point. So routing is going to change obviously over the stock routing because we now have the dual pass. So I'm going to start with loosening up my worm clamp down here on my heat exchanger inlet. Okay. It's not being kind. So, I'm gonna resort to cutting. If you're reusing your hoses, don't do this. But it can be an easy way to get them off. All right, so we're gonna remove this entirely. And from here, I'm going to undo the pump outlet clamp. So that's free. And then there we go. All right, because I'm not doing a stage 3 at this time, we will have one less hose than necessary, or one extra hose. Instead of going stock heat exchanger or stealth to S3, then back in, we are going pump, stealth, and then stealth back up. Now all these clamps on your stock system are going to be those constant tension clamps, like these ones here. They can be a real pain in the butt. That's why we provide the worm drive clamps. Makes servicing a heck of a lot easier. Okay. And here. Okay, that one we're gonna have to get up in the air and under the car. Car's up in the air. We got one more worm drive clamp there. So your stock outlet or stealth outlet normally goes back into the pump. We're gonna change up that routing a bit. Now you guys might notice the little heat sink we got here. That's a prototype new part that we're working on for our pumps. we came out with our stage 1 intercooler pump, which obviously meant we were planning on more stages. And this might be a sneak peek. Sorry guys. Splish splash.
Nice aim though.
Perfect. Almost like I've done this before. Okay. So last connection is stealth. Watch out, Eric, we might get some spray. Oh, wow. No, not bad. Okay. Hopefully the hard part is over. So now, where your original pump outlet, you can think of the pump kind of like a turbo. You've got your inlet over here, what would be the compressor side, and it spins around. It yeets small children, as Al would say, with the impeller, and then shoots it up. But now, instead of going up to the manifold, because we have the dual pass, we're gonna go from here to our stealth or your stock. So that's gonna be this hose here. So we have pump outlet. Now this is designed originally to go in the stock location. So you come out of the pump into the manifold. Now that we're changing it up, I may have to trim this a little, and you may too. So it's gonna go on the pump outlet there. And you can see I'm gonna have to do a little rotating and a little cutting. Plus a little dielectric on these connections. Get stuff on and off a little easier. One thing I always make sure to do is think about how you're gonna tighten them. If you can't get a screwdriver or something on there, be a pain in the butt. So there. All right. I'm gonna slide it on the exchanger first. Now our stealth has some pretty big barbs on the end, which is nice, but also a pain. You know it's not going anywhere. All right, so I'm gonna continue to slide this down. And then slip it on. Pump outlet. Make sure we're good there. We're not pinched. There we go. Now what I'm gonna do here real quick is, thank you Eric, is actually rotate. You know, I might not have to, but you just want to feel your bends. Want to make sure that they're not going to be a restriction. They're not getting, you know, kinked anywhere. This one feels pretty good. If you want to, it's just 2 13s, and then you can orient the pump whichever way you want. Mine's feeling pretty good. I'm pretty confident in that. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these guys up. Now that my gloves are all coolant-y and going to be a more difficult task than originally intended. Okay, there we go. So again, make sure you can get at it. Oh! Okay, we got one tight. Two tight there. Okay, that's not going anywhere. Now, I'm gonna attach one more while I'm down here. And that's gonna be our outlet back on up. Now this is the one that I'm gonna have to end up trimming because I don't have a stage 3 at the moment. Get this one on. Okay, it's on there. Stare into the light. Okay. The extra little something. All right. Time to go back up top. Car's back on the ground. Now, so we've got our pump outlet to heat exchanger that's gonna come on up. I'm gonna do the option B at the same time. Now the option B is kind of a misunderstood mod. Same with the dual pass a little bit. They're not power adders. You're not gaining anything from them. You're not, you know, it's not like dropping a pulley size that can be fun and instant power. What you do gain from both of these is reliability, cooler intake temps, and what that means is you're going to be able to drive longer and do, say, more than one pull at a time without your intake temps going through the roof. The dual pass is going to take care of the majority of that. The option B, basically what that does is it self-bleeds the system. So air in any coolant system, whether it be a radiator system or a heat exchanger system, is bad. You don't want that. You get an air pocket, it's not going to work. The option B acts as a surge tank, and it flows in and is going to self-bleed the system as it fills while you're filling the system. So we sell a bracket, the whole option B kit, and that's going to install right up over here. So thankfully GM used the same body for all of the models. That's where a naturally aspirated airbox would mount, and instead we're going to put our option B tank there. So I'm going to grab my bracket. So your option B tank, it looks eerily similar to our regular coolant tank, and it serves a similar purpose. So this is going to mount on to the body, and then this tank is going to mount onto the bracket. You're going to flow out of here into your system, and then this is your air bleed line. So before I bolt this to the body, I'm going to get it attached here. Two of your nuts are going to be for there. One of these, your more serrated one, or thicker threads, I guess you could say. Come on. This is going to be for bottom mount. Since it is plastic, I'm going to line it up And that's gonna self-thread itself in there while your other side we go here. Boom, boom. Make sure sitting flat there. Tighten that down. And then I'm gonna need 13 for that. There. There, we're good. And drop that on. There we go. As you can see, it's pretty close to the windshield washer fluid. Next, what I'm going to do is tuck it under that. Gives us a little more room. We're good. Okay. Now, there's a couple ways to run your bleed line with the Stealth here. You can see that it's got a fitting on top. And we've got a brass fitting in the bag, and that's gonna run from there over through here and up to there. So let me prepare that hose and then we'll be good to go. So as I mentioned, there's a couple different ways you can plumb the air bleed line. The more direct one is actually drilling and tapping into the manifold. I'm not gonna do that because our Stealth has a nice fitting built in on top. There we go. So you'll undo that.
I go out there and I fired it up and I'm like looking around, all of a sudden I see both of them.
Oh, there's the P. Uh-oh. I removed the bucket. Watch out. Like that. The brass fittings. Gonna go right into there. It's an NPT fitting, so you don't have to worry about doing any thread tape or anything like that. Just get it in, get it oriented correctly. So now I'm gonna run my line over through this headlight bracket. So that's gonna be about good there. You just wanna make sure that it's tight enough where air's not gonna get in. Then you're gonna take your clear hose that came in the kit and run that. These little white clips are for the clear hose. We're gonna go onto the fitting. This one I can clamp down now. I just got the 0-minute warning, so
all right.
I want to just take over while I swap them.
Yeah, that's fine.
And run your hose accordingly. The reason I'm going through the headlight area is just to keep it away from the supercharger, belt, all that. So I'll run it down, move it around, and then run it under. And get it nice and tight. So that makes it the routing just a little bit cleaner. You just want to make sure you're not pinched anywhere, not tight. So far we're looking pretty good. So obviously I have some extra hose. We're gonna need to cut that down. And you can't forget this little fitting. Basically it's just a restrictor fitting. Doesn't matter which way it goes. It just needs to be in this clear hose here to be effective. Eyeball my line, give it a little extra slack. And that seems about right. Okay, then you're going to want to get your fitting into the line. Like I said, it can go either way. You're just going to want to make sure that you can get it far enough in here. So an easy way is just to start working it onto there, and it'll kind of work its way in there. There we go. There we go. That'll be good.
I've seen like truck shops that do a lot of that stuff.
Work your silicone hose on.
And steel clear.
Most like the right in there. Pretty much.
Sure, took my own advice and put the dielectric grease on. Would have made it a little easier. Okay. It's good there. Fitting's good. That can close. And you just want to tighten that up. This.
And same thing. That's good to know, actually. I never really knew why they know what's better.
There we go. Again, just need to make sure your hair's not getting in there. Okay, now that that's on, I think we can go ahead and get our manifold back on. Now to get your manifold back in, like I mentioned, remember your O-ring up here, remember your map sensor if you took it off to clean. We're gonna go in, down, so we clear our injectors. Remember your gasket. Yes, don't forget your gasket. Thank you, Trevor. I'm reusing my stock one because it looks to be in quite good shape. We carry replacements if you need one. So you're going to start with your studs. Get those hand threaded in. There you go. Get it started. Another 10 mils, oops, started here by hand. You have to make sure that you do the 15 mil down at the bottom last. Now, I don't have a phenolic spacer on this car currently, but if you did, the 15 mil down at the bottom is especially important. So we'll find our home back here. Down at the bottom. Get that one started by hand. Okay. and work on down that 15 mil. Manifold's back on. Let's start finishing up the line. First and easiest one is going to be your end plate one there. Bottom, top, just like that. You'd think I'd listen to my own advice and remember to put these on before. I'm flawed, it's all right. That one. And second's going on the bottom here. Okay. Yes. Okay. One and two. All right, that's not going anywhere. Next is gonna be our option B. Or filler line. It's gonna be your really long boy here. I'm gonna tuck it behind. So it's out of the way. Clamp on. And work it onto the bottom there. Okay. Should be good. So then this is going to come around. And we're going to tee in 2 more clamps. Okay. Get that on. Yeah, it's going to be this way. Get our tee installed. Another clamp on here. I'm gonna go under so it's a little cleaner. And get that union there. Okay. Tighten these on up. With all of these, you don't really have to go Hulk. Just enough to kind of squish the silicone out. Go. All right. Okay. We've got our union here. You're gonna come up with your hose from your either stock heat exchanger, stealth heat exchanger, or your stage 3. And then you're gonna go into that last inlet there. I'm gonna stop myself and get a clamp on it. It needs to go this way. Yep, just gotta slide it in there. sure you're on the barb. While you're doing all this, you should do an oil change. Makes it a lot easier on a blower car when the blower's off. Okay, got all those. Now we have one last hose. That's gonna go from our T-union here down to our pump. Slide her on. Okay. And then we'll attach to the pump inlet. Now the reason we do this routing is your option B is filling, so it's coming across here. It's meeting this T from the outlet of your dual pass. So it's flowing this way, everything's gonna flow and it'll go down into the pump, then through your heat exchanger, back on up. Air rises up, so you want this to always face up. I know some people have flipped this and gone the other way. It's not gonna bleed quite as well. So we're gonna pop downstairs, attach that last clamp, and then we'll be good to put the blower back on. We are tight everywhere. We'll have to check the leaks later, but I'm feeling good. Hoses are ran, everything's tight. We'll bring her back down and get the blower back on. Everything is buttoned up down below. So now we will toss the alternator back on. One started, the other started. Go. The lower bolt. Oh no. Now don't forget you had your alternator plugged there. Also have this bolt for the
No.
We're so close.
No. Oh no.
We gotta take the manifold back off.
What the f? Now that you've witnessed my very rookie mistake of dropping a bolt down there, Al saved the day with his ingenuity.
Yeah, pro tip, what was the hack?
It was just a small magnet on a string and drop it down in. Seems simple enough. I just, you get working and you're in that mindset of, oh crap, I don't know what to do. We've all been there.
Yeah. If
So-
you're clumsy, masking tape.
Yeah. Mask it off. Make sure you don't drop anything in there. If you do, get it out. So, final step, put the blower back on, put the belt back on, reattach everything. This should be easy. Alright, we will toss our supercharger gasket back on. These rarely go bad. We do carry them if you want them, but in general, as long as that O-ring is good, you're good. while you've got your supercharger out, I would recommend doing some servicing. Looking it over, this rotor pack isn't too bad. It's not the greatest. You can see the coating's coming off a little bit on the edges, but the actual rotors themselves are pretty good. So I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll run this one for a while. I do have another one that I think I'm gonna port eventually. So installation is just reverse of taking out.
What
the f was that?
No.
Please.
Right.
No, you did it again. That did not just
What
happen.
was it?
Your alignment dowel.
Oh, the alignment dowel stuck to the blower and then fell in.
Oh no, baby! Oh what? Oh, Tyler! Oh!
Get out.
Oh!
Now, can you tell everyone at home what you're trying to do here? Well, see, Tyler likes to up. Oh. And I unbreak things. Are they both in there?
No, just one.
Okay. Next time, just call me before you spend half an hour fishing.
See, this is how you know we're human around here at ZZP. Dang old big pulley getting in the way. All right, so just got to get it back on the alignment dowels now that they are not in the intake manifold anymore. One up there, one there. And there we go. Make sure you're not pinching the vacuum lines. Make sure you're all lined up. And there we go. Okay. So, I'm gonna get the bolts in, then get the belt out.
Got a little plug room.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hand start these.
The intake manifold is officially sealed off, guys.
Yep.
It can't hurt us anymore.
What a day it's been. I hope a lot of people get some use out of this video.
It's a good thing they didn't have us three assemble the V-engine.
Yep.
We would have dropped so many things.
Now that my injector harness is right in the way, get off to the side there. There we go. Loosen the fuel rail up so I can get this bolt in. Go. Pass the injector harness. There we go. Cool. Snap those back up. Don't forget your throttle body plug. Much easier going on than coming off. There. Get that started. Okay. Just go around there. Good, 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 good. Tighten these on up. that easy. No, it's definitely a more involved install, you know. We've got a lot of smart people around here, but at the end of the day, people like me, I've been here for a couple years, I've been working on these cars, have a lot of fun, but they can still be tedious installs, you know, like working on any vehicle. So at this point, we've got everything plumbed, we've got the blower back on. I gotta do some last minute things, get this buttoned up, but you're pretty much there. Get your belt back on, fill your system. If you have a ZZP tune, click your key on, just to the on, but don't start the car. Check for leaks, make sure you're all good there. But that's about it. Let me know what you guys thought. I hope it helps you guys. If you have any questions regarding it, feel free, email me, customer service, whatever. Like I said, you can do this all. Take your time, be patient. Don't drop things down your intake manifold twice. And have a lot of fun. We'll catch you next time, guys. We'll see ya. Peace.